That brings us to item number 12, which is public participation. And we have a number of people who've signed up, and I'd like to read part of our board policy. The board welcomes and encourages public participation. We respectfully ask that you adhere to the procedures and decorum provided for in board policy BEDH, public participation at meetings. We ask that you be respectful of students, staff, school board members, and set a good example for our students. And that your comments will be limited to 3 minutes, and any question that's asked during public participation and put in writing will be given a response in a timely manner. Mr. Harris, Dr. Harris will be keeping time, and we'll let you know when those 3 minutes are nearing. So with that, we'll have our folks that have signed up. First person that signed up is Ms. Leisha Huffstetler. Ms. Huffstetler.
Thank you for allowing us to publicly, express our concerns. There are numerous traffic concerns connected with this proposed site on Amex Ferry Road. Traffic from Timberlake, the Oaks, Night Harbor, Stevenson Lakes, and other subdivisions will redirect down Long Pine Road to avoid the backed up traffic coming from the school in the morning and the afternoon. Long Pine Road is not built to handle this increased traffic. Also, the small dirt roads like Paul Farmer that surround this property, Lester Frick Road and Frick Outlet Road will experience exponential increase in traffic from cars, either trying to avoid school traffic or cars taking a shortcut to get to the school. These small dirt roads are county roads and will not be paved anytime soon. The percent of increase of accidents on these small dirt roads will skyrocket. I live in front of one. Because at some point, one car has to pull over in the ditch for one car to actually pass by. Parents taking children to school from St. Peter's Church Road will also divert down these dirt roads to get to the school quicker, therefore creating possibly life-threatening situations. Because of the placement of the school and increased traffic congestion from the travel time from Timberlake to Chapin will increase to 30 minutes, just 8 miles down the road in the morning. A Timberlake resident talked to me today about the negative impact of the increased traffic that will have on the EMS services. They said if an EMS unit got caught in the traffic trying to get to a house at the end of Amex Ferry Road, the delay could be fatal. You guys bought 47 acres at $590,000 with referendum money for an elementary school. And that area seems to be the area that needs, that needs to be expanded. Why not build that school first and then think about another school? But the site on Amex Ferry Road is not a good site. Thank you for allowing me to make comments.
Thank you, Ms. Huffstetler. Next, we'll hear from Kim Murphy. Ms. Murphy.
Good evening. As you're aware, Mr. Gant and Mr. White, I'm appealing in the Supreme Court your efforts to have my name removed from the ballot in Richland County. I still reside there and continue to pay my taxes there. I've been working on that, so I'm not as prepared to speak as I would like to be. I've been researching your past 2015 visions, 12 of them, Dr. Hefner, to see what is said from year to year, and it's very interesting to see how the facility recommendations change and without really documented justification. It was disappointing to see that the audio tapes have been removed from those past meetings, so the concerns that were expressed can't be heard. I attend all the meetings, so I am aware of some of the concerns. It's some facts that I think ought to be pointed out. As you are aware, the 2008 $243 million bond referendum was sold to the public for needed renovations to our older schools and for new schools in elementary school, middle school, and high school. It was represented that there was going to be explosive growth, 10,000 kids in 10 years. Since 2007, District 5, however, has grown by 184 students. Though there are space issues in some of our schools, it's obvious that we need to address that. The elementary school, which was part of the bond referendum, was not built. The middle school was not built to the size and capacity as was budgeted and approved in the bond referendum. Approximately $37 million of voter-approved bond referendum money that was to go to add capacity to schools, to increase capacity in our district, to build new schools, was spent on non-essential amenities and athletic facilities. A year after the middle school was built, you recommended building on more classrooms, a much more expensive option than completing the school at the time. You purchased 48 acres on Mount Vernon Church Road in the Lake Murray attendance area. And you have already paid, I think, approximately over $700,000 on the site and developing it and architectural fees. I don't think people know this, but somebody didn't do their due diligence, and that site cannot be used for a school. You attempted to condemn land on the neighbors, adjacent neighbor's property, so you could use the school. That track is sitting vacant right now. No enrollment, school capacity analysis has been done. Let's see, where did I go from here? Schools were built to accommodate classroom additions. That should be considered. Lake Murray has experienced an increase in enrollment. I'm just about done. Chapin Elementary has experienced a decrease in enrollment. You built Ballantyne Elementary and Oak Point Elementary without a vote from the public instead of seeking a bond referendum.
Ms. Murphy, if you'd wrap that up, it'd be great.
Thank you. You spent bond referendum money approved to be built for an elementary school on facilities that weren't part of the bond referendum. You now want to use 8% money to build this new elementary school on a hairpin turn that only serves a limited area. I
Ms.
ask
Murphy,
that
you're
you do
covering
your
the same ground a little bit, and your time is up, so we
Thank you.
appreciate the fact you had time to work on that.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I just ask that you do your due diligence district-wide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Murphy, among your opinions that you gave, you also stated that certain audio tapes had been removed. If you will give dates that you think have been removed to Mr. Harris, we'll do research on that and make sure that you're not missing that somewhere else on our website. You need to write that down and give it to Dr. Harris. Our next public participant is Rhonda Huffstetler. Ms. Huffstetler?
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Heck. As a concerned citizen of Chapin, I would like to share my concerns for where you are proposing the placement of the new elementary school on Amix Ferry Road. Amix Ferry Road is a highly traveled and congested road where speeds do exceed 60 miles per hour at times. And the neighboring land around the proposed area is hunting land. So people will be hunting on the property around there. Currently, where Lake Murray Elementary sits, Ballantyne Elementary sits, and Chapin Elementary sits, those are secondary roads. Those are not a main thoroughfare that leads down through Chapin. So, and after going through today and seeing the car rider lines in those said schools, that's my concern. Because Amix Ferry Road is a main thoroughfare, and the congestion on that road will be tremendous. It won't be as so as on a secondary road because of the heavy traffic. So that's my concern there. And hang on just a second. So where car rider lines add to the congestion on these roads that these schools sit on, traffic is not as concerning. However, the placement of the new school on Amex Ferry Road will be more of an issue because of it being so highly congested with traffic. Has there been a high-density traffic study done in this area to make sure this spot is a safe spot for a school? Because Dr. Hefner sees that there is a need for an elementary school on the west side of Chapin, there is land for sale on numerous sites, one off of Lake Tide and one off of Westwood on Rocky Branch Road. And because these are secondary roads, the placement of an elementary school here would not pose as much of a safety issue as it would where he is proposing it to go in the next couple years. So I thank you for hearing my concerns. I truly hope that for the safety of the children and the community around that area, that y'all would take these concerns and everyone else's into consideration on the placement of the new school.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Hupsteller. Our final speaker is Charlie Wessinger. Charlie Wessinger.
Thank you. It's been a long time since I've been on the stage. It's a little smaller now than it used to be when I was really tiny. My question, it's more of a question in regards to the enrollment study and the traffic study that I hope, as part of the due diligence, will be done. And my question is, when will that be publicly available after you've done the study during the due diligence process?
Is that the question you've written on this form here?
When will the district work with the county for a traffic study? Also, when will an enrollment study be completed in conjunction with the land acquisition? That's what I'd like to know.
Okay.
Will that be public?
If it happens, it will be.
If it happens, it will be?
When you're saying when will the district work with the county for a traffic study, I don't know that that's in the works or will be. I
Or
don't
the
know.
South Carolina DOT? Will the district do a traffic study as part of the due
I'm
diligence?
just saying I don't know the answer to that.
You don't know the answer?
No. I've got your questions. We'll submit that and find out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our public participation. And that will bring us to our action agenda.